students from 10th graders, the best. Hey, I hope that everything is getting on well at home, that you've been taking care of your family, your pets, everybody at home is going well, all right? Remember that to stay at home, not to go out too much, but we have to take care of ourselves. Hey, today's video lesson is just related to a final review with the conditional type 2. Yes? Remember the goal that I set up in the previous lesson. That is, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to talk about unreal situations. Remember that the conditional type 2 is to talk about things that are in our minds, are hypothetical. They are not true, they are imaginary. Alright? Today I will give you some other uses of it. Conditional number 2 usage. It is used to talk or to imagine that life is different, that someone else's life is totally different. Just to think of that, to dream about that. Number 2 is to ask, is also used to ask about hypothetical question. What would happen if? Would you do this if this happened? Etc. To give advice, aconsejar. Alright, remember, we say, if I were you, si fuera tú, if I were in your position, if I were in your shoes, right? It's also used to give advice, recomendar, to express an opinion, to make a suggestion. And finally, to give reasons why we can't do something. Alright? Later on, I am going to play some example with each usage. Then remember the structure. If plus the subject, simple past. Remember that here, simple past doesn't indicate that something happened in the past. It's just an hypothetical situation, something that is unreal. Then in the other part of the sentence, we got the subject again, would, and the basic form of the verb, the infinitive. Okay? Not to. So you don't have to add anything, any kind of suffix to the verb. All the conditional, as I said in the previous lesson, they have two parts. They are made of an if clause and a result clause. Then if this happens, this would be the result. Si esto sucede, esperamos un resultado hipotético. Alright? Just to illustrate the structure, here I've got an example. If I had 20 hours to live, oh my God. Look, simple past. If I had, si tuviese 24 horas de vida, alright, I would spend them with my family. Okay, yo me las pasaría con mi familia. Spend is the base form of the verb spend. Okay? Okay, don't go, my dear students, so stay tuned. I am going to illustrate some more examples with this. Okay, then let's go through the uses of the second condition. The first one, to imagine that life is different. So that happens when something is unlikely. Unlikely means that it's not possible in the future, or things are impossible now in the present situation. Alright? Cuando las cosas son imposibles ahora. Yeah, because the situation is different, because life is different now. So here I have a couple of examples. If I had enough money, I would buy a flat in Miami. Alright. Remember that here I can use the construction I'd. Yes. If I had enough money, I'd buy a flat in Miami. Look at another example. I would travel around the world, viajaría alrededor del mundo, if I won the lotto or the lottery. Remember that over here we can say I'd travel around the world if I won the lottery. Then it is unlikely in the future that I win the lottery. It's kind of difficult. So the possibilities that happen is very reduced. Okay? Then I will place more examples with the other usage. Okay, my dear student, the second usage or application of the second conditional is to ask hypothetical questions, preguntar o hacer preguntas hipotéticas. Remember, hypothetical things that are not true, are just in our imagination, in our minds. Then what would you do if? ¿Qué haría si? Number one, if your skin became green, si tu piel se torna verde, became. Remember, simple past. Then the answer, if my skin became green, I would, or I'd work in a circus. Si mi piel se torna verde, trabajaría en un circo. Alright? Number two, what would you do if you became invisible? Became, so here, became again, simple past. So you can answer right straight without using this, the long answer. I recommend you the long one is just to practice to get acquainted with the structure of the second condition. What would you do if you became invisible? I'd be a superhero. Yes, sería un superhéroe. And finally, what would you do if you saw an alien? E.T., yes? Si usted ve un extraterrestre. Then I would take a selfie with him if I saw an alien. Alright, me tomaría una selfie con él si viese un extraterrestre. Then this is the second application. Hypothetical questions. Stay tuned for the other two uses. Don't go away. Okay, here it is, another application of the second conditional. To give advice. Hacer recomendaciones, to express an opinion, to make a suggestion or recommendation. Then with this we use this form. If I were you, si yo fuera tú, right? If I were you, I would pray with her. I suppose that, yeah, there are two guys talking about ghetto. Yeah, they had some they had a bad moment, and then one of them recommend to the other. Si yo fuera tú, if I were you, I would pray with her. Terminaría la relación con ella. Okay? So, there is another way to use this. I wouldn't accept that job. No aceptaría ese trabajo. If I were in your position. It's the same. If I wouldn't accept that job, aceptaría el trabajo if I were you. Right? And finally, if I were in your shoes, which is the same as the two before I explained it, if I were in your shoes, I tell the teacher, I haven't done the homework or I didn't do the homework. Si yo fuera, si estuviese en tu posición, le diría al profe que no hice la tarea. Right? Then this is another way to use the second condition. Remember, to give an advice or to express an opinion. Finally, the other one, which is give the reason why we can do something. Stay tuned. Okay, finally, we got here to give reason, another application. To give reason why we can do something. So when we use the second condition, we try just to soften the reason why something is impossible at the moment. Fuera es tratar de suavizar, decirle las razones por qué no se puede hacer algo en el momento. Alright? Look at these two examples. If I had that amount of money, so yeah, let's suppose that someone approached you to ask you to lend to borrow from you some money and you didn't have it. Say, I'm sorry, but if I had that amount of money, si yo tuviese esa cantidad de dinero, I'd lend it to you. So here we're just giving a reason why we cannot do this, why we cannot lend the money in this case. The second example is, I would give you a hand with your math homework. O sea, te ayudaría con tu tarea de matemáticas if I weren't so busy. Alright? This is the reason why I cannot help you with your math homework. Why? Because estoy muy ocupado. Si no estuviese muy ocupado, te ayudaría entonces con tu tarea de matemáticas. This is the way we use the second conditional to give reasons why. Okay, my dear students, so I hope that with this brief explanation and review, final review, you are yeah, you will feel much more comfortable using the second condition. Hey, remember to practice your English every day. Okay? Be good, stay at home, don't go out too much. All right? And practice your English as well. Hey, goodbye, my dear student. See you soon.